Beneath the ocean's surface lies a world humanity was perhaps never meant to see, a realm where light dies and life assumes forms that seem to defy nature's own rules. We descend deeper, through the sunlit zone, then the twilight zone, and into the absolute blackness of the abyss. With each layer, the creatures grow stranger, more alien. We have sent rovers to Mars and charted distant galaxies, yet we have explored less than 5% of the ocean depths. We know more about the moon's surface than what occurs a mere 11 kilometers beneath the waves. At the surface, the ocean is bright and teeming. Sunlight fuels plankton blooms, which feed fish, which in turn feed larger predators, creating a vibrant chain of life from coral reefs to giant whales. But below 200 meters, light begins to fade. We enter the Twilight Zone, a vast belt of water stretching nearly a kilometer down. Here, solar rays are too weak to power photosynthesis. The plankton forests vanish. There are no plants, no green energy, only the slow snowfall of particles from above, tiny remnants of dead organisms and plankton waste called marine snow. To us, it is near dust. To the creatures here, it is the very essence of life. The residents of the Twilight Zone have evolved into some of Earth's strangest forms. Many are transparent, as if made of glass. The glass squid drifts with barely visible organs, a ghost against the blue void. The glass octopus is nearly invisible, with only its eyes remaining distinct and solid. This transparency might be camouflage, a chance to vanish in the last faint glimmer, or an energy-saving measure where every drop of pigment is a costly luxury. Others choose the opposite path. They create their own light. In this darkness, bioluminescence, a chemical flash of life, is not magic but a tool for survival. Some use it to lure prey, others to find mates, and many to disappear. A master of this art is the firefly squid, employing a trick called counter-illumination. Seen from below, a predator easily spots a dark shadow against the dim glow from the surface. To hide, the squid's underside is lined with tiny light-producing organs. It fine-tunes their brightness to match the glow from above, perfectly erasing its silhouette. This is camouflage by imitation, light used to dissolve into light. Even stranger is the stoplight loosejaw, a fish whose belly glows deep red, a color spectrum that doesn't penetrate these depths. In this blackness, its body appears perfectly dark, concealing any bioluminescent prey it has swallowed from curious predators. But the Twilight Zone holds more than games of light. It hosts one of the ocean's greatest spectacles, the Deal vertical migration. Each night, as darkness falls at the surface, billions of creatures, lanternfish, squid, jellyfish, rise from the depths in a silent army to feed on surface plankton under the cover of night. At dawn, they descend back into the blue gloom. This is the largest synchronized movement of life on the planet, greater than all herds, flocks, or schools combined. Astonishingly, humanity remained unaware of this phenomenon until World War II, when naval sonar operators detected a strange false bottom that rose and fell with the day-night cycle. It wasn't the seafloor, it was life itself, a hidden world moving as one. Below a kilometer, sunlight vanishes completely. We enter the midnight zone, stretching down to 4,000 meters. Here, there is no dawn or dusk, only endless night. Temperatures hover just above freezing, and pressure is hundreds of times greater than at the surface. Yet, in this seemingly inhospitable realm, evolution becomes truly inventive. Take the dragonfish. Unlike most deep-sea creatures, it can emit a red bioluminescent light, a color invisible to most inhabitants of the deep. This acts as a private spotlight, allowing it to see prey while remaining hidden. Even more remarkable, its eyes are specially tuned to perceive this secret spectrum. Other predators are masters of disappearance, sporting ultra-black skin that absorbs over 99.5% of light, making them nearly invisible even under a submersible's beam. Then there are the anglerfish, the abyss's strangest hunters. A female dangles a glowing lure before her mouth to attract unsuspecting prey, but their most astonishing secret lies in reproduction. Males are born tiny and weak, with one sole purpose: to find a female, an almost impossible task in the ocean's vast darkness. If successful, he latches onto her with specialized jaws and fuses with her body. His organs gradually atrophy until he is little more than a sack of sperm, permanently attached and nourished by her bloodstream, one of the most extreme sexual adaptations known to nature. Yet not all deep dwellers are hunters. Scavengers patiently wait for food to fall from above. A whale carcass sinking to these depths becomes a feast, sustaining entire communities for decades. But even with submersibles, our knowledge of this zone remains fragmented. Each dive brings sightings of species science has never before described. Creatures with glowing eyes, needle-like teeth, or bodies so fragile they disintegrate upon reaching the surface. At around 4,000 meters, we leave the open water and reach the seafloor, the abyssal plain. This is one of Earth's largest biomes, covering over half the planet's surface and yet one of the least explored. It is a vast, featureless desert of silt, stretching for thousands of kilometers in every direction. Food is incredibly scarce, and survival demands unique strategies. One key adaptation is size. Many abyssal inhabitants exhibit deep-sea gigantism. Giant isopods the size of small dogs crawl slowly through the mud. Amphipods, typically tiny, grow longer than a human hand here. Even the colossal squid, one of the planet's largest invertebrates, is thought to patrol these depths. The reasons for this gigantism remain debated. Perhaps it aids energy efficiency or provides defense in a world where predators are few but encounters are dire. Life here moves slowly. Creatures grow at a glacial pace, reproduce rarely, and can live for centuries. The Greenland shark, which ventures into these depths, can live for over 400 years, making it the longest-lived vertebrate known. In the abyssal plains, time itself seems to flow differently. Beyond the plains lie the trenches, scars carved by tectonic forces where one plate subducts beneath another, dragging the seafloor to unimaginable depths. This is the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the underworld, stretching from about 6,000 meters down to the deepest point on Earth, nearly 11,000 meters below the surface. The conditions here border on the incomprehensible. Pressures exceed 1,000 atmospheres. Yet life not only exists here, it thrives. Among the most astonishing residents are the snailfish, delicate gelatinous creatures with translucent skin. They appear too fragile for this world, yet they are the deepest-dwelling vertebrates ever found. Their bodies, almost lacking hard bones, are fortified with unique molecules that allow proteins to function under crushing pressure. Other inhabitants, like amphipods, carpet the trench floors. Recent studies have found plastic fibers within their bodies, a sobering reminder that even these remotest corners are touched by human waste. Around hydrothermal vents that jet from trench walls, life takes even stranger forms. Here, microbes feed not on sunlight or marine snow, but on chemicals spewing from Earth's interior: hydrogen sulfide, methane, and dissolved metals. Around these microscopic pioneers, communities of worms, mollusks, and crabs flourish. This chemosynthetic food web, independent of the sun, proves life can arise where conditions seem utterly alien. It begs a profound question. If life adapts to such extremes on Earth, why not on other worlds? The ice-covered oceans of moons like Europa or Enceladus, warmed by internal heat, may hold similar secrets. By studying the Hadal Zone, we are peering into the potential oceans of other planets. Despite its significance, we know almost nothing about the trench depths. Fewer people have visited the Mariana Trench than have walked on the moon. Each new dive reveals unknown species: transparent sea cucumbers drifting like parachutes, gelatinous organisms of puzzling anatomy, microbes with enigmatic metabolisms. For centuries, humanity imagined the deep sea as a lifeless void, a silent grave. We have found the opposite: resilience, life that bends, morphs, and reinvents itself to withstand the unimaginable. And with all we have seen, the deep ocean remains a world of questions. Over 80% of the global ocean is still unexplored. Every dive, every deployment of a submersible robot brings forth creatures beyond imagination. Transparent fish, glowing worms, jellyfish that defy biological rules. This is a world where discovery is not an occasional event, but a constant process. Even among the creatures we do know, mysteries abound. Why do so many deep-sea species grow to enormous sizes? Why do others become nearly invisible or cloak themselves in light-absorbing skin? And the most pervasive puzzle, bioluminescence. Nearly 3/4 of deep-sea organisms can produce light, yet the reasons vary. Hunting, camouflage, mating, survival. We still do not fully understand how these complex chemical mechanisms evolved or why some creatures glow in colors no other organism can see. The questions run deeper than the darkness. For now, they remain unanswered. Perhaps that is what makes this realm so compelling. It reminds us that Earth still holds secrets, secrets worth protecting and secrets worth uncovering.